Right, well, good morning, and this morning we're in the front cabin forward section of Doris, and the reason I'm in here this morning is because I'm driving out the remains of a 100-year-old keel-bolt. So to enable me actually to put a new one in. The front two here that have temporary rods in them were two that we managed to drive out previously in readiness for mounting the new piece of 4-foot. And today gets a bit dark in here, I'm afraid, but yeah, so yesterday I started to drive out the keel bolt that came up through this old iron floor, and I think that, well, we kind of know from talking to one of the previous owners that, and you can kind of also see it from the watermarks really up here and where these old floors have rusted to. I think this boat spent an awful lot of time, years likely, with all of this submerged up to this point, because some of the things we found at the front, and we know that she just leaked like a sieve. So we're hoping that the work we're doing at the front will eliminate, well, all of it really, but certainly at least 90% of it, and make it much more controllable, because you really can see through this whole fore cabin area that the water was sitting pretty much right below the level where the floors were at, which was somewhere around here. So I am going to continue to drive out what's left of this keel bolt. It was about 2 feet long, maybe up to 28 inches. I'd have to check that again, but a long keel bolt, 3/4 of an inch diameter, 20 mil diameter, something like that. And it's been a bit stubborn because it's been in there a long time. There wasn't much left of it. It's very de-zinced, unfortunately, but having said that, it's almost certainly 100 years old, and yeah, it's got to come out. Right, I shall carry on. Right, so I guess I'll explain a little bit about how I'm doing it. Basically, I'm driving it out from the top side, and I started off using an old iron steel keel bolt. Excuse my flashlight head torch being on in here, it's a bit dark to see, but yeah, it started out using what's left of this old steel bolt. I believe this was cut by the guys that were working on this, and I believe it was a bolt that was put in the 80s, which I believe is Swedish something or other steel. Anyway, started out by driving that, but that was binding in the hole, although it should have been okay. So I moved on to a piece of threaded rod that's slightly narrower diameter, and got down to the end of that. And today I've had to get a longer piece, and part of the problem is that I don't think you'll be able to see down in here, but we'll give it a go. When you look down in this hole, let me just focus it's actually not, in fact I can see it, it goes down vertical on the top section in this knee, and then it sort of goes off to an angle to starboard at the bottom, and it comes out to the quite off center of the bottom of the keel. So either the original drill hit a knot or something and went wandering, but it means that anything that's going down in there is having to bend basically around around the corner, sort of a thing. But it is almost out. I'm driving it, so I started there and now I'm here, so I've knocked it another 4 inches or so out, and I'm anticipating that about another, I'm hoping that the rest of this length of this rod and it will be out, so we'll find out. I'll see if I can film me bashing that, but to be honest, it's a bit hard to find somewhere to mount the camera because I don't have a tripod here, and I'm making lots of vibrations, which means it will probably just fall over. We can give it a go. Let's see what happens. I'm really hoping that. I don't think that's going to stay there very long, but we'll find out. So, having to use a big hammer, and although I can't swing it that hard, there's a lot of mass in the head, so this is, I don't know how heavy this thing is. Pretty heavy. Anyway, let's give it a go. There it goes, I think. So hopefully that's knocked that last bit out. It's going to be a bit of a bugger to get this out because it's basically been forced to bend like that. But hopefully, oh actually, not as bad. It's coming out. There it is. Okay. Now I'm hoping, with a bit of luck, oh, maybe it didn't. I don't think it quite got all of it. I can't see daylight, but there is quite a considerable curve on the bottom. I think I might just see. We'll knock it that last couple of inches. So, well, that's about it. So, let's get that out and go have a look. Yep. Right. Well, hopefully that noise I heard of metal hitting something was the bottom of the bolt dropping out. I can't see light down in there, but I might not be able to. So let's go for a walk. Yeah, I'll make another video and explain exactly what's gone on with those later. And this is, I don't know, probably doesn't show very well. It's a bit dark in here. I need more light, but yes, too dark probably. So let's have a quick wander out of here, up into the wheelhouse, which I've been busy taking apart. I need to spend a lot of time taking stuff apart. Out we go. Here's Doris's foredeck, and this is the view. Just love the view of this boat. Anyway, back here, 40 odd feet of it. So let's go see what we've got at the front. Last Christmas Day's work was this set of stairs, so it's a year old. It's a miserable grey wet day today. Right, here we go, let's have a look. Unfortunately we get a small lake up here when it rains, down here. Now, round we go. Well, I'm sure I heard that thing come out. Yep, there it is, I think. Is that it? Yeah, there's a bit of it. Okay, so here it is in bits. So basically, I'm pretty certain this... Oh, there's still a bit in there. Damn it. Pretty certain this keel-bolt is one of the original ones. It was underneath the shoe. I had to make a small notch in here. You can just see the bottom of the last bit I've got to get out. So I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to do that. Not sure yet. I'll bring my pliers down. I might be able to turn that. But basically, this is all dezinced, and not that bit. It is either, well, it's a long story. It's either been breaking up as I've been hitting it, or it was shattered before. And the reason it was probably shattered before is it had a big impact on the front of the boat, and the two bolts that were in here were sheared somewhere about here, where the knee sits on top of the keel with the forefoot. This bolt on the inside where I was hammering just now is up here, so it's about a 2 foot long bolt, that one. These were slightly longer, but that's what's come out. This was the head of it, and you can see it's just completely and utterly dezinced. There's just nothing bronze left of it. But there you go. Fortunately, for us anyway, for now, a lot of the keel bolts were replaced with Swedish steel ones, galvanized ones, in the not too distant past. They're certainly not 100 years old. But anyway, right, I'm going to nip up and get my pliers and just see if I can't get my pliers on those. I might see if I've got something a bit longer just to drive that last bit out. And then what I'm hoping is that now that bolt is out of there was a lot of resistance obviously, is I'm going to put my big jack under here and see if I can't close this gap. I'm not too worried if I can't, because I'm just going to cut some cedar. I needed the bolt out because the bolt ran there, which means I can now get a solid piece in, and I'll cut some cedar to go in there, like I'm doing at the front. But anyway, that's for later. Bye for now.